everybody doing today? Hope everybody had a great day as always. Let's dive right into DR for today. Um, Yesterday was just a simple DR day. If you just follow the rules, today was a simple DR day, but it was also a fun day too. So a lot of opportunities, you know, to get into trades and understand how DR really works. So we'll talk about those, and as always, we'll start with our range. So had about a 20 or the 24 point range today. So good width for us to make some moves. Um, and as always, I want to talk about a couple things that happened. If you look at the market open at 9:30, we're in this fair value gap down here, and if you look at it from a ICT strategy standpoint, plenty of opportunities here to take this fair value gap. You see how many times it actually kind of used that fair value gap as support and then took off. It also had one here. We had this fair value gap that took off as well. So if you're doing, pre 10:30, there were definitely some opportunities here. And again, this wasn't as, it's not as kind of easy as it was yesterday to see it. But if you notice, we had price coming down, and then right around at 10 o'clock, we started going the other way again, right? So, definitely something to keep an eye on. Not something I would say trade, or use that as an entry, but just keep an eye on it so you can kind of see where some opportunities for you to potentially use that as well. Okay, so let's get into DR, and we had this, move up all the way till 10:30, and so we just kept going up, and so we confirmed literally at 10:35 we were confirmed for the day, confirmed high, and our next step, I should have to say it by now, but looking for that retrace, and then we get a beautiful retrace right down below DR/IDR high. Because we had such a big move up in the morning, or consistent move up, so there's no gap between DR and IDR, right? So once we retrace below that, as usual, my order is placed right here on this line. Let's call it DR line to keep it simple. So I keep my order on the DR high line, gets picked up, and then we kind of come back down to it. I have a 5 point stop down here, so I'm not worried about it. Never even got close to it. I never even sniffed it actually. I think I went negative like for a couple seconds, and it went reversed again, and then so that's 4187. I'm sorry, 4187.75, and then we closed out 10 points here. So on the screen candle here. Okay, so very easy, nice easy 10 points. As usual, had my initial 5 points, and then I moved my stop up, and then continued to move my take profit up here. I'm sorry, my stop loss, I moved that up while I moved my take profit up here, right? So 10 points, and we're out of that trade. Price comes back down again, right? And we didn't get below DR here. So not a trade for me. Run back up. Now we start to make these relatively equal highs up here, but as price comes back down here again, and that becomes important later on. But as price comes back down, we go all the way down. Didn't take these trades because again price is coming down kind of heavy, so didn't see any green candles forming. So as price comes down, ignore that. I didn't take any trades with that one. Price comes all the way down below this 0.5 fib. That's another rung on the ladder. So once it drops below it, it starts moving back up. Order is placed right here on the 0.5 fib, and that's 4177. Takes up to 4182. So that's a 5 point move here. Okay, didn't bother trying to move up too much. I just said let's take a 5 pointer here, because what I started to see was as price started to come back on this candle, we start to see some consolidation here. Okay, now price again attempts here to go back below 0.5 fib, doesn't do it, no trade. Next move comes down here, goes down below it again. Second trade around that 0.5 fib, same trade, 5 points, and I'm out. Okay, so pretty easy there. Now one thing happened again. It's that lunchtime, right? So usually something happens around lunchtime. In this case, we had some consolidation around lunchtime. And as we go to the afternoon now, price goes all the way back up above the point five, above the DR high, and so I'll be honest, I actually put an order in once I saw this happen. I put my order in here, right? So I saw price coming up. Now remember, that's the wrong move, right? I want price to come down, then move back up. In this case, price is coming up, and so I said, well, I'm just gonna put an order here. Now it did go up about 3 points, and then I don't know what happened at 125 or 126, but this thing just felt like a rock. I was like, man, did Powell speak today? Did Biden speak today? Because something happened here. We're moving up nicely, and all of a sudden it just dropped. I mean, in the span of less than a minute. And so got stopped out here. I had a 3-point stop on this one, so I got stopped out for 3 points there. But again, still of course in the positive from the first 3 trades I've taken. Now price, so once that stop out happens, I'm like, oh, okay, interesting. So price comes back down, drops down again below the 0.5 fib. This one I'm a little gun shy because I see all this, this is all this bearish action happening. So I'm not sure if that, price would turn around. So I end up just watching this, and then guess what I notice is, you see this little bottoming pattern here, and so price starts to bottom out, it starts to move back up, test that 0.5 fib once, test it twice as resistance, and then finally here it breaks through it. Okay, so what I decided to do here was I took the trade at 1 point above the 0.5 fib. Okay, so instead of 41.77, I actually put my order at 41.78 because I wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to, reverse back down on me. So got it at 41.78. So the latter rung plus 1 point, and then took that up. Had the easy 5 points here. Start seeing these fair value gaps form, which normally means even if the price came back down, it would move back up outside the fair value gap. So 41.78, and then ended up 41.88 because that was right at this DR high, right? So I wasn't sure if that's going to be resistance. So again, another 10 points. So 10 points in the morning, 5 minus 3 plus 10. Right? So whatever that adds up to, that's what we're looking at today. And that wasn't my last trade. Okay, so right around this time, actually, one of the other reasons why I closed this out, because I actually had to go to a doctor's appointment at 3 o'clock. Luckily, my doctor's is right around the corner, and it was just a quick consult on something. So I knew I wasn't be gone long, but I had no intention of trading again. I figured, okay, if it takes me an hour, I'll be done. Market will be done for the day. So I get back right around 3:40. So all this was happening. Again, another great trade if you're doing DR. Price comes down below, you can take that up. What would that be? 87 to, another 10 points sitting right here if you were watching that one. So when I got back, again, it was around 3:40, 3:45, 3:40, I'd say, because when I got back, I saw this happen. Okay, so I saw this fair value gap here. I saw price had come down into it and taken off. And so what I decided to do, not a true DR trade, all right? If I was doing a DR trade, I would have been down here if I was at home or could have taken that trade. So I said, okay, well, I got these relatively equal highs over here that have been formed twice, and it tried it again here. Okay, so it tested it again here, and so similar to what I looked at down here about testing, price, I decided to say, okay, if it goes above this here, I'm going to take that trade, right? So if it breaks those relatively equal highs. And so it did that, so I got in at 4,200, okay? And I had this buy-side liquidity sitting here, so I'm like, if they did all this, they're going to try to run it up to at least to the buy side. And that's what happened. So finished out the day with 5 points here. Could have held it a little longer, but again, it was getting close to, it was 3:45 at the time. And I said, okay, I'm done with the futures. So I actually just ran over, grabbed a, what I grabbed, a 4205 SPX call. Took that from 25 to like $1.10, I think. Yeah, I think I got out at $1.10. It went to like $1.35, but I got out at $1.10. So did a little quick, every day about at 350. You can kind of get an easy scalp on an options contract if you're that brave, and if you're say one of those where it's an all or nothing kind of trade. But anyway, that's not what we're talking about here, but that's kind of how I ended the day. So really actually a good day. But overall, like I said, it was a fun day to trade. Wasn't a lot of heat happening. If you got to trade at the right time, if you followed your rules, if you knew, what your entry was, and then, you stuck to your exits. Actually a relatively easy day. This was the only one that threw me off, because I literally, like I said, this thing, it crashed like somebody had said the debt ceiling deal was dead or something. I don't know what happened. Supposedly there's some volume imbalances and some order blocks and all kind of things here, but even that, the speed at which it fell down was just interesting to me. So anyway, but that's it, guys. And for now, the only other thing I'd say is, just we talk about this kind of every day, but you really just got to follow your rules and follow your strategy, because once you do that, even if you lose one or two trades, you're going to make up for that. And we shouldn't, especially if you're doing like funded account challenges and things like that, you're paying, if you're doing Apex, you're paying what, $15-$30 a month for the opportunity. So don't be afraid of the trade. Like when I started out, I was doing MES. I was treating it like my money, all right? And that's fine, but it'll take me forever to actually get funded, okay? So instead of just using ES, which is, getting 10 times what MES is, which makes this much easier. And again, you get a little more action, and you feel like you're actually making some differences here. So I don't know why I went on that rant, but I felt like I wanted to say it, so I did. But anyway, that's it, guys. Again, a really nice DR day, a nice ICT day, if that was what you were doing. And again, keep looking at your clues, right? So again, we got clues around, midnight right here. You see midnight happened to be most time a resistance here. We have fair value gaps that were support, broke through that, took off, right? There's a lot of things you can glean from that, what 0.5 fib does. So all these matter. And, price is fractal, so you can always figure out like how to get in and get out of a trade. So hope this was helpful. Hope you guys had fun today. I did. Had a ball. And we'll see what tomorrow brings. So we have OPEX tomorrow. So that should be fun. We'll see how that plays out. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to follow my same rules and use my same strategy. So whatever happens tomorrow happens tomorrow. But anyway, all right, guys. Sorry for the mini rant at the end, but I thought it was important, and I will chat with you guys tomorrow.